up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
It's all about heroes in today's lineup. Remember, these are builders like no other. They are leaving their mark on the community. And our lineup this morning, later on in the show, we're going to have the president of IKEA. She grew it to $3 billion in sales. Later on in the show, we're going to have the Bare Naked Foods founder, also Evolve founder and Survivor cast member. But let me first start off this. This is just absolutely incredible because our first guest, our first hero, she's been called the Cuban Missile, the Tropical Tycoon. She knows what it's like to bust down the glass ceiling. That's right. She works hard, she's smart, and she has worked her way up to become the first female president of a U.S. television network, Telemundo. With us is Nely Galan. Nely, now you've produced over 700 episodes of TV in English, Spanish. Of all of these which you have had the most, which you've produced, which do you feel had the most impact that you remember the most?
Well, I think there's different ones that have had different impacts in different ways. I think when I was running Telemundo and I did Spanish language shows that were about immigrants and their kids, those were groundbreaking because no one had ever talked about that stuff. And then when I did for Fox, The Swan, which was a reality show about women that were being made over inside and out, that was pretty out there and scandalous for its time. Of course, everything seems very unscandalous now because everything's been on TV, right?
Right.
But I've been very blessed that I've been able to produce drama series and reality shows and sitcoms and novellas, Spanish novellas in English and Spanish. So, and it was a very long journey. So you can only imagine how difficult all that was.
And Nely, what's the secret to be able to really beat the odds like you have? I mean, you've crushed all these glass ceilings. You've had such a successful career in TV production, which is so competitive. What's the secret?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, I do. Sometimes I laugh and I tell myself, am I a little crazy? Because I really take on these challenges that are like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Like, I just wrote this book, Selfmade, and we just hit the New York Times bestseller list, and that was like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro too. It was a whole new set of skills. I think the key to the whole thing for me, I can only speak for myself because everybody's different. My number one value in life is to grow every day. And in order to do that, you have to challenge yourself. You got to get out of your comfort zone, and you've got to really breathe through fear, because fear shows up, I think, for all of us all the time. And, I always say to all my girlfriends, I really visualize when I'm in fear that I'm in an airplane and I see a cloud right outside the window and there's turbulence and I get scared. And I realize if I just breathe through it, the plane will pass through the cloud and it'll all be okay. And that's the way life is. You have this turbulence all the time inside your body. And that's your fear showing up. And you just have to breathe through it and go, well, if fear shows up, I have to do it anyway. And sometimes, and then you get to the other side, and you were like so happy you did it, even though it was horrible. It's like, when I watch those Olympians, that's why I think people relate so much to Olympians, because we know that what it takes to be a medalist is so hard. It's so unfathomable that, that they can hang in there and do it and then win the medal. That's why everybody cries. Sure. And I think that's a real metaphor for all of us, right?
Sure, absolutely. And it doesn't stop there for you, too. You're an author. In fact, you have a couple published books. And your latest one, Selfmade, Becoming Empowered, Self-Reliant, and Rich in Every Way. What does that mean exactly, rich in every way?
Well, I think the book, I wrote the book really to show that women in America, and particularly diverse women, are crushing it in entrepreneurship. Like really, after the bad economy, have really stepped up. But I also wanted to point out that I think for most of us being, rich, and particularly women that come from traditional cultures, is bigger than money, right? Because money doesn't make you happy, but it definitely, I can speak for it myself, it's very important, and it's not something that we should poo-poo, because it buys you freedom. It buys you so many other things that do bring you happiness. And one of the things I talk about in the book is that rich in every way means that you really work toward a rich family. A family that you can be proud of. A rich life in love, a rich life in spirituality. But in order to do all those things, you also have to think abundantly, and you have to go get it, because we live in the greatest country in the world, and we have all these opportunities. And in the book, I talk about all the hidden money in America that we don't even apply for. So
Right.
I wanted to bring all this information to the light and show all people, but particularly women, that this is your moment, and this is the moment for you to be able to bring abundance to your family and do great things that really will change the course, not just of your life, but of, that will allow you to pass the torch to your family for generations to come.
Phenomenal. And again, we're talking with Nely. She is the former president of Telemundo. You can go to her website. You can contact her. You can get her book at becomingselfmade.com. Once again, that's becomingselfmade.com. You're listening to Eliances Heroes. Be a hero. Go where entrepreneurs align. Be part of the community. Go to Eliances.com. That's ELIANCES.com, and you spoke about the youth and children in your book and stuff. In fact, you're a motivator, you're a driver, you're a builder, you're a mother. How do we teach our children and others having teach their children to really be able to break the barriers like yourself and be so successful?
Well, I think for me, I always say that it comes from a place of being an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. So I think in the book, I have a chapter called Think Like an Immigrant, because we come to this country and we're grateful. We understand that in other parts of the world is not as good as it is here. We're also hardworking. We have an incredible work ethic. And I think the big thing is that when you grow up in an immigrant family, you think like a team. We're in it together. My parents, I've always helped my parents. They've always helped me. And you understand the concept of what a real family is. And I think that, I try to pass that on to my son and to my stepkids and to my family, that we're in it together and we have to all work together, that there's no entitlement. We don't just get things handed to us. I tell my son all the time, as you get older, we no longer live in a country where you go into a job and you're going to be there for 40 years and you're going to be taken care of. Those realities don't exist anymore. So we all have to really work hard at growing, at learning new technology, at really embracing changes in the world, and really taking advantage of all the possibilities we have here. And so I guess I would say that, to me, my guiding light is gratitude. I'm very grateful for my life, for this country. I'm very patriotic. And I feel like people don't realize sometimes that traditional people are the most patriotic people in the world. And I want to impart those values on everyone else.
Phenomenal. In fact, too, you have done so much. In fact, People en Español magazine selected you as one of the 50 most beautiful people.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And I've got to ask you, because everybody here in the studio is jumping up and down. They want to know, what is your secret beauty tips?
Oh God, I love beauty tips. Well, first of all, I think sometimes women are very harsh on other women about what they look like and what are they doing and this and that. I would say that my greatest gifts are internal, not external. But certainly, I'm one of those women that believes in maintenance and in Botox and in fillers. And I did produce the Swan after all. But I also like a low maintenance routine, because I don't have time to do a lot of stuff to myself. So, but I do believe that you want to make sure your exterior also reflects your interior, and that's important to me. But not to the point where it takes up so much of my life. My life, most of the time I have, is definitely meant for my internal life and my growth and my achievement.
Phenomenal. Nely Galan, former president of Telemundo. You could reach her at becomingselfmade.com. But I think your nickname really should be Rocket. Why? Because once a rocket takes off, nothing could stop it. Being the first female president of Telemundo, the first Latina ever to appear on Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump, oh my. Even you have a nonprofit to help Latinas, is a hero, and that hero is Nely Galan. Now when we return, we're going to have the president of IKEA, David Cogan, with Eliances Heroes.